With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Increasing clouds today with a high of 63. A chance of showers and storms Saturday with a high of 90. Saturday afternoon is stacked with LGBTQ plus voices at AM 950's Pride booth. At 2 p.m., it's a 2-hour live broadcast of The Gately Show, followed by The Illegal Trans Woman, hosted by Ellie Krug. That's AM 950 Radio live at Twin Cities Pride this Saturday. Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host, guest, random reptoid, or chupacabra may not necessarily reflect those of AM 950 Radio, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Now, it's time to step into the unknown. There are things people experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in the corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us. Share your story, share your experience, because this isn't just your story, this is our story. This is GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakun.
Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio.
And this is GhostBox Radio on AM 950, where every night we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. It is Casual Friday, everybody. I hope you had a great week. This was down to the wire getting this going tonight. Oh my gosh. Adam, we made it somehow. We made it. I don't know.
Barely made it in under the wire.
So what I'm talking about here, because if you've been listening to the station, you may have heard that we'll be broadcasting from Pride this weekend, starting tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And we're going to be starting with redefining recovery, a recovery revolution. And as it happens, the gear that I use here at home to do GhostBox Radio is now over with somebody else because it's going to be used for the weekend. And so I have this other, mixer. And up until, as Adam had told me, about 42 seconds before the show starts, we actually finally got everything to work. Finally.
Well, it just shows for our listeners and our viewers, we will take it up to the last second to try and get you a show.
Well, and the thing is we could have done it where I just used the microphone from the laptop, but that's crap. I mean, that's absolute crap.
And I can hear Puff before everything could get started. And yeah, it would have been a Puff episode.
Oh, you can hear her, can't you? I mean, she's.
Oh yeah, she was loud. I thought it was like a child at first, and it's like, who brought a kid to a radio station outside of me?
I'm the only child in this equation, so I just it's like, so I mean, it's like, I mean, people at home aren't going to care what we're just talking about, but to me, it feels like a minor victory, a celebration, a moment of contemplation and reflection, because it really looked like we were going to have some issues here. And then they took your equipment as well today, so you're not on the video stream.
No, but I think that's better for everyone, especially since we shoot in 1080p. That's better for everybody. They can all think I'm younger and then, not look at the camera and see all the gray in the beard. So they can just think I'm younger.
Well, I got a haircut, so that was cool.
I meant to compliment your ear lowering at work today, but
and what you may not notice too is right before the program, I trimmed my beard finally after about 3 months. It was getting a bit ridiculous. So
sad. Your 3 month of growth is like 2 weeks of me.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's why I don't think I'll ever shave this off, because I don't know if I could ever grow it again in my lifetime.
So, in your mid 60s before it comes back.
It really is not facial hair is, I love it, but it's not something that's abundance on me. So, so we got that.
For me, it takes a place where that jawline is supposed to be. So my beard is straight up a substitute for a jawline.
Well, and that's the thing that, my beard and yours too, kind of goes below the chin, right? The hair kind of It goes further because that to give it a more defined look. If I were to shave off my beard, it's just like kind of this fat, flat, chin.
That's where I'm at. So it's like, we'll just leave it.
It's an optical illusion and not a very good one, but I'm happy with it. I'm not talking about yours, Adam. I'm talking about mine. I'm not gonna optical illusion.
I tell myself that it's covering the chins and the jowls all the time.
Right? It's just yeah. So
I tell myself a lot of things. So
absolutely. So a couple things going on here as we talked about, and we're really excited about this, that we're going to be broadcasting live from Twin Cities Pride starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. Go to AM 950 on Facebook, and there's all sorts of graphics and stuff talking about the lineup and stuff are really good shows that are going to be on between tomorrow between 10 and 5, and then Sunday between noon and 5. And we, as we did last year, we're going to be the very end of the schedule. GhostBox Radio is going to be on at 4 p.m., kind of just the way it started here at AM 950 for us. We're going to be live, and we are going to have paranormal author Stephen LaChance on Sunday's program, and I'm really excited about that because I've been trying to get him for a long time, and a very prolific writer, but also a gay man that we want to just talk about and celebrate Pride and celebrate the lifestyle and hopefully be able to have some fun with it as well. So Adam, that's what you're going to be able to get and listen to Sunday afternoon and be a part of.
Yep, and I will be here on the wheels of steel, as they used to say back in the day. Board upping that, so I'm on all day Sunday with everybody. So if by some chance you like the Dawson tones of Adam, feel free to tune in on Sunday.
Right. So and how it's going to work is that like Adam will be at the station on Saturday, Patrick will be at the station, Brett and I will be on site. So we're going to have producers at the station, producers at the event, and just making sure, because this is the thing, Adam, that I think is really kind of fun, is that there are going to be a few shows that are going to be on this weekend that have never done a live show before. And I really think that if you've never done a live radio show, if you have a radio show or a podcast or something, and you've never been able to do it live, try to find a way to do it, because I love it. I would never. That's why when GhostBox started on AM 950 in 2020, they were just like, well, you can record it and then we can play it at 4. And me being Greg, I'm just like, no, you need to bring someone in. We need to do. I don't want to pre-record these shows. I want to do them live. I want, we have people in the comments right now telling us. We have Paul saying hi from Liverpool. We have people who call in. This is the stuff that I know energizes you. It energizes me. This is so much fun that I'm excited that there's going to be a few shows who have not done it before are going to be able to experience doing live radio, and it's so cool.
And the best part is doing it in front of a live audience, your first ever live show. And I actually go back to last year on Sunday. We have a show on here called the Downright Upright Show with Philip Anthony. And that was the first time he had ever done his show live. He did it with people in front of him, and it was he was so natural. And you see hosts like that, you see hosts who aren't. But, that's the first one that pops to mind. That was his first live one, did it with a tent full of people in front of him, and he nailed it.
No, he did a very good job. And he had his two co-hosts with him as well. It was very fun. And yeah, it was great to see. And he had a big day, actually, because I remember him doing the show. And then one way or the other, it might have been the other way around too, that he ended up being on the main stage, part of a bigger show as well. It was a big day for Philip Anthony.
Yeah, that was a huge day for him. And like I said, he flat out nailed it. It was probably the best first timer I ever board up doing a live show. That one.
Yeah, he was really good. So Tune in and honestly, have fun with it. It's going to be great. Better yet, if you're in the Twin Cities area, come on out. Come on out to Twin Cities Pride. You can. We're in booth 407 and 408, and just we're going to have swag there. We're going to have buttons and bags and bumper stickers. A lot of things that start with B. Apparently, there's going to be we're going to be doing live broadcasts. As we said, there's going to be some. Just really a nice area where you can sit and listen to the folks do their shows and whatnot. It's I was out there this afternoon. It's coming together very nicely. We'll be out there early in the morning, and we're very excited about it. I'm very excited about it. But I can't let this go, Adam. This is something I saw on the Facebook page, and I still, I'm not one to get into politics or people's how they react to stuff, but I'm gonna say it because on AM 950 someone posted, or not somebody, I know the people who work at AM 950. Brett posted the schedules for both days, and there's somebody who responded in a very negative way, and it's still a stark reminder. And it's not, to me, it's not about politics. It's not about sides or anything. People who continue to choose to have something against this, our allies, and I just was really bummed. It was because it's one of those things that it's just a schedule. It's just talking about people being at this celebration. And someone turns it into something very negative, and it's like this is still the stark reality of the situation of life. So that to me makes it tomorrow and Sunday even more important.
Oh, absolutely. And to be honest with you, it bugs me because I'll see stuff like that on social medias, and I'm just like, we're in 2025. Shouldn't we be beyond that? And unfortunately, the answer is no. We are not beyond it.
And the thing is too, because you are right, you are 100% right. What did that post? I mean, this sounds silly to say. What did that post do to you? That makes you want to respond the way you did, because it's only out there for people who want to check it out, want to be a part of it, but yet you have somebody who is very negative about it, and it's like, what causes you to have to respond to it? It's not for you. Clearly it's not for you. You don't need to respond to it. Move along. It's okay. If you see something on the internet, and here's a life lesson for people. If you see something on the internet, you do not have to respond to it. You can just keep scrolling. There's no law that says you have to respond to everything you see. You can let it go. You can let it roll off your back. You can live in a life knowing that, okay, for whatever reason, you do not like certain people, just move along. Okay. Just move along. So
yeah, it's not for you, not meant for you. If you don't want to be there, don't show up. But on this in the same token, though, as much as social media has helped in some ways of connecting people and things like that, it's also given everybody the thought that because there's a comment button, that everybody needs to know your damn opinions, and we don't.
We don't. We are absolutely. We do not need to know, and especially if it's there to hurt somebody, to make someone feel bad.
It's insanely childish.
Yeah, then maybe don't do it. It's okay. You don't have to. We don't need to know that. Why? And there's enough of that out there already, as we all know. And it doesn't matter. And it doesn't. I don't think it matters what politics you practice. You're going to be reading stuff that you're not going to agree with, and you're going to be upset about. But I just personally, if my response is going to be something that's going to hurt other people, why bother? Especially when it's something that it doesn't affect my life at all.
Exactly.
But this does affect my life, and I know it affects your life very much, Adam, as well, because we have people in that community that we love and care for, and we don't want to see them hurt. I remember telling my mom when we were trying to get gay marriage passed in Minnesota. And I just looked at my mom and I said, quite frankly, if somebody wants to have the same kind of marriage I had, go for it. You can learn the hard way that it's careful for what you wish for.
Oh, for sure. And the way I was looking at it too is when the whole issue became very paramount here in Minnesota and in the nation, is like I do have friends in the LGBTQ plus, T plus lifestyle, and none of them were married, and I thought it was by choice. I had no idea that it was via the law. And
Right.
it's like, why does everybody care what other people are doing in their bedrooms? If this is between consenting adults, no one should have an opinion other than said consenting adults in their bedroom.
And not to turn this into downright upright, but we had that conversation. Remember a couple weeks back after Philip recorded his program, and we just kind of like, it's just insane to think that you all fought to get rights to be married, and someone just is trying to take it away. Imagine being something like, yeah, you're not married anymore. And it just blows me away. Danielle in the comments, and I think this is a really good thing, and I think this is very healthy, actually. I'm notorious for writing a comment and then just leaving it because it doesn't really need to be said. And sometimes I totally understand that. Yeah, okay, you just want to say, you just want to write it out, you just want to put it there. And I personally think there's something very healthy to be like, yeah, okay, well, I put it out there, but I don't need to post it. I don't need to. I mean, I got, whatever that comment is, whatever, it could be the same as, I don't like your Spider-Man costume or whatever, it could be anything, and I'm not trying to come to you, all of you, as, Mr. Perfect on social media. We all make mistakes, but I'm certainly not going to, what that person did, that's not a mistake. That's just hate, quite frankly. So
yeah, absolute hatred.
Just hatred. That's all it is. This is where we're going to leave Politics Corner for the week. We don't ever
until
do
next
this.
June. We won't do this again until next June.
We don't do this, but it just kind of riled me, and I know that so many of my friends are big supporters of this community, and it doesn't matter. And these are friends that are on multiple sides of politic, party, everything else. So, that's good. And I just saying, I'm an ally, and I am excited to be out at Pride. Hopefully that people will listen to the programming that is going to be on AM 950 over the weekend, because it's good stuff, good people, good topics. Adam will be on their Sunday, Patrick Saturday. So with that being said, I just want to quickly let people know, question of the week, very simple. Name one thing that makes you happy, because I look at this weekend, and Adam, I don't want to speak for you, but I feel you do too, is like, this is a celebration. Mm-hmm. Let's keep it positive. And what's one thing that makes you happy? Put it in the comments. Feel free to give us a call, 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205. We're going to take our break. When we come back, please don't go anywhere. We're going to get to question of the week. You are listening to Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio. Greg Bakun here. I love historic tours of Minneapolis and seeing everything it has to offer. But if you know me, I like to include a little spooky in my tours, which is why I found the perfect combination. Minneapolis Trolley Tours does this amazing candlelight ghost tour that you have to check out. It's an extremely immersive experience. It's a trolley trip that starts out at a haunted mansion, traveling around Minneapolis locations, exposing ghost stories that the public and business owners would rather left untold. Then a tour of the aforementioned haunted mansion where ghosts of past residents from the 1800s reside, plus a lot of surprises to discover. Next, experience Gertrude's After Hours. Did I mention Gertrude is the mansion's most famous ghost? Maybe she'll show up. And you finish up the tour at Gertrude's Lounge in the haunted basement of the mansion with refreshments and Q&A. The trolleys are climate controlled and the mansion is restored to perfection. Check out MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for more information.
It's that time of year again where the weather is getting nice and it's time to get out of the house for some family fun. Lilliput is the perfect place and is open for the season. Be the first to take on their newest escape room, The Bunker. It's intense, exciting, and totally unforgettable. Prefer spooky? Try the Haunted Mansion. When you're done escaping, hit the mini golf course, go-karts, and jump pads. Lilliput is perfect for parties and group events too. Visit lilliput.net for hours and start your spring adventures at Lilliput. Are you one of thousands of individuals who know you have psychic abilities but don't know how to tap into your higher self? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who offers classes that can help you reach your goals. Refined Divine holds classes Monday and Thursday at her 2 locations and via Zoom. Classes consist of manifestation, learning psychic abilities, shadow work, and healing trauma. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
This is Psychic Medium Deb. You can go to refineddivinepsychic.com.
Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio.
And we will get back to Greg in a second once he unmutes himself.
Thank you. I knew I was going to forget
welcome.
it. This is a technologically difficult program for me tonight, and we just got to live. We just got to live with it, right? None of us are perfect.
This is why you should leave me in control of everything.
Well, that frightens me.
It frightens me too.
That statement is not one that I ever want to hear again. Yeah, no, it's I muted myself because I was having some pop, and I thought, well, you know what? I'm a professional. I'm a radio professional. When everything starts up, I will simply unmute myself. And I also didn't want during the commercials for you to hear my cat that keeps meowing throughout the house. So this is really amateur hour at GhostBox Radio. This segment, not because of Adam, but for once, we take turns. What I was trying to say before I realized that there's no sound coming out, that Adam, it's right by where Pride is, right? I'll help you out. 300 Clifton.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's right. That's right over the Brad Loring.
It is right over there. So I don't know. I think that a perfect day could be go over to Pride, check it out, get exhausted by walking around and having a good time, and then go and do the haunted Minneapolis trolley tours that night. It's going to be super, super hot tomorrow. I read between 87 and 90 degrees. What you do is you go get on the trolley, which is air conditioned. Afterwards, you're in the 300 Clifton, which is air conditioned, and maybe see some spirits and get a real wonderful history tour of downtown Minneapolis and everything else. So, yeah, no, I like that personally. I think that's a great day. So
that's a darn good idea too, especially being out in the heat all day. And those trolleys, yes, they are very nicely air conditioned.
Yeah, no, it's really cool, literally. And it's a lot of fun. So and if you're like, okay, well, how do I find out about it? Go to minneapolistrolleytours.com, minneapolistrolleytours.com, and go and check out the type of tour that you want to do, the dates, everything else. Please let them know that you heard about it on GhostBox Radio. And I don't think there's not one person who's going to be like, yeah, that wasn't that great. Everybody I have talked to said that this is an amazing experience, and it really is. I love it.
And it's a great tour too, because it's a lot of houses you'll drive by if you're just going through downtown Minneapolis anyway.
Yeah.
But there's so much history, and even if you're not doing the haunted one, they have the true crimes one with true crimes that took place throughout Minneapolis too.
Yep.
And that's a fascinating one. And they have a game that they play with that one that I think only 2 people have actually gotten it right since they've been doing it.
That's
I know
right.
I was wrong.
Yeah, me too.
I was 100% wrong.
Well, and so yeah, I mean, this is going to be a really fun tour. Go check it out. I just and things are going to change. We're going to be talking about that coming up. So yeah, go treat yourself, have some fun, and learn a couple things. And yeah, the fun part about this is the dark side of Greg talking now. That trolley is so big, and streets in Minneapolis around that area. You're just like, how are they going to maneuver through all of this traffic with cars parked on both sides and stuff? That's part of the fun to see. Are they going to make it? And they do. They made it every. I mean, they drive that thing with absolute like perfection. I don't understand it. I probably wouldn't even be able to drive my Fusion that well through those streets. Incredible.
Man, I can't walk through them streets without hitting a car that's on the side of the road.
No kidding.
How they're able to maneuver the trolley is amazing. I think it was Norman behind the wheel last time I went. Yep, just zipping in and out, not a problem. It's just like, right on, man.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. So please check it out, minneapolistrolleytours.com. Question of the week. Very simple tonight. Name one thing that makes you happy. And starting with Joanne in the comments, she just says sitting on my porch, having a coffee and listening to nature, God's gift. That's cool.
Oh, I can
like
totally
that.
agree with that.
What did you have any thoughts? What makes you happy?
Okay, so my daughter is 16, will be 17 in November.
Mhm.
So all of us who have got teenagers in our lives know that at certain points they don't really want to talk a whole lot to mom and dad. They want to talk about their friends.
Yeah.
So anymore, it's definitely makes me the happiest when Morgan, is at the top of the stairs to go down to the basement where I'm usually dwelling, and all I hear is, "Hey, Dad." It's like, yeah, come on down, and we'll sit down there and chill for like an hour or two, just talking, listening to music, just yip yapping back and forth. That's easily the happiest I get.
Well, and I mean, hopefully that communication just keeps going. Just life changes and stuff, and so yeah, just being able to really appreciate it, and it's sacred, and it's cool. I like that.
Oh yeah,
I
and half the topics are really nothing. Her gossiping about her friends, but still, it's just that that hour or two we hang out, just hanging out.
Absolutely. I was thinking for myself what makes me happy, and it was really hard because there's a lot of things that just make me happy. Very, very simple things. And I reading the comments that were left on the Facebook page, I think everyone it's the simple things that make people very happy. I got home tired, and it's hard to say this in front of Adam because he's been at the station for what now, about 10 and a half hours.
Mhm.
So there, I'm not gonna get any sympathy from him. But getting home, and it was Chicken Wing Friday, and so I even though it was like 8:15, I'm outside, and because it's light out, taking advantage of it and just grilling some chicken wings, and just thinking to myself how happy this makes me. And then there's this new black and white cat that just kind of like just ingratiates herself to me. She just is so lovable and stuff. And it's like, well, it moves from being happy to being grateful. So yeah, this is some really good stuff. And do you ever just when stuff like this happens, whether it's with your daughter or if it's anything else that just makes you happy, and you're just kind of like all of a sudden you realize, like, I don't even realize it, but I'm smiling.
Yeah, there are times like that. I feel like I'm insanely content.
Yeah.
Which, for somebody like me, I am rarely content.
Yeah, yeah, no, I think I'm there too to a certain degree. There was even a night that I wanted to kind of fall asleep listening. I'm kind of into this British stuff, and I found some old radio recordings of like have you ever heard of like the pirate radio stations over in the UK? They were outside. They were literally on ships in the ocean, because they could broadcast that way. And there's some recordings with some very popular music, and that stuff existed. So one night I was just on YouTube, that's playing, and I'm laying in bed trying to sleep, and I just realized I'm smiling because this is just so neat. It's a bit of historic, it's a bit nostalgia. It was really nice. And I will always suggest to people, and by no means am I the person who can suggest anything to anybody, but when you stop and just enjoy that moment, you're enjoying the moment, but enjoy the moment that that you're happy, because you never know when that stops or if it goes away for a while. I had suffered pretty severe depression over the past 3 years, and it still comes back occasionally. And wasn't, there's been people who've had it much worse than I've had it. But when you're just realizing, my gosh, I feel happy right now. I'm just enjoying everything that I can see here, the people around me. Just enjoy it. It's so nice. It's beautiful, and it's not a given either.
No, it's never a given, and they are very, very fleeting moments.
They actually are. They really are. And yeah, so I don't know. Is this still a paranormal show?
Well, if you want to, your interview with Heidi Hollis the other night, that made me insanely happy.
That was good.
That was so good.
Yeah. Yeah. And then so if you haven't done so, go back to either AM 950 radio, where GhostBox radio stores their episodes, or go to Spotify. It's also on YouTube, Monday's episode with Heidi Hollis. And during the episode, I get this text from Adam, like, we should do a 2-hour, GhostBox radio after dark with her. And after the show, her and I talked for about an hour and a half after the show. And I said, would you be interested in such things? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, those are, and honestly, there are concepts that you've heard of before, and at least I'll talk about how I felt about it for myself. Concepts I've heard before, but in a way that had kind of really opened my eyes to a lot of different things. And I'm going to be very honest, I'm still processing it too, to be perfectly honest. But it was good.
Yeah, there was a lot to digest, but there's this one section in segment 2 or 3 where she talked about how she was basically zapped to this place, and you could see all these like energy orbs going in and out, like this one big energy field. And I even put in the comments, like, I legit since a kid thought that's what happens to the soul after the body dies. You go up, you download all the information from this life you just led, and then it's shot back out into another one.
Absolutely. And you commented on it in the show.
Yeah, I'm like, holy, I mean, that's something I didn't tell anybody, because to me, it seemed like such a silly idea that I just honestly kept it to myself. And I had never heard anybody else say that until Heidi on Monday night, and then Chris Fleming again on Wednesday.
But he didn't say it during the show.
No, but you were telling me that.
Yeah, he said it afterwards.
And it just like, that's twice in 1 week. And it's something I've held on to for 44 years, not saying a word to anybody, because I thought it was just kind of silly.
It's the interesting thing about that too is how much stuff that we endure in our lives that we never talk about, and it doesn't have to do with paranormal or really anything, even just like silly things that we just don't think anyone else thinks the way that we do about it. And we're always surprised. There's always somebody, and it probably a lot more than somebody, who are just like, oh yeah, I've experienced it, or I've wondered that myself. And the whole idea is like, I feel like that if there's anything good that's coming out of things right now, is the ability that people are feeling. I think they're feeling more like it's okay to be able to maybe be themselves and talk about the things that before they maybe have just been like, oh, I don't think that this is going to make me look silly, or people are going to think weirdly of me. So yeah, I think I agree. That's cool.
And you would think I've been doing the show long enough with you, I'd be able to just come out and say all that kind of stuff, but I still am not.
Well, no, that's just it. I mean, and we all have our thresholds, don't we? Of like, I'll go this far, but I'm not going to talk about some of the other stuff because I'm just not ready. And we wouldn't have a journey if we didn't have that, would we? That's where it all kind of comes. And your journey took a different path on Monday because you heard somebody who is very who's written books about it and has talked extensively about it, talked about exactly what you've always thought, and now things have changed for you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you're 100% right. Now I don't feel so like, now I'm 100% wrong. It's like, well, you know what? I think I got a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things too I've been noticing is like I've been talking to when we had Chris Fleming on, and we've had some other mediums on and stuff, and the way that they talk about how they pull forward, and part of it is that I interviewed last night Sam Beltrusis for an episode that's going to air on July 2nd, and then it'll be an encore presentation on the 4th because it's about the ghosts of the American Revolution. Ooh. But that being said, the way that he approaches spirit is so different than how I do it. And there's still a little bit of that imposter syndrome in me of being like, well, these people are doing, and they're very confident about it. I don't even want to talk because he's talked about, Chris Fleming showed me how to cross over spirits. And I've been doing that now for years and years and years. And in my mind, it's like, well, no one really taught me. I just kind of did it. I don't know, it makes you wonder, am I doing it right? But I know I'm doing it right. So, it just opens all sorts of questions and thoughts. So yeah, interesting.
And this was an insane week for your show too. I mean,
yeah,
both Monday and Wednesday, both of those guests were just absolutely fantastic. Heidi and Chris. Yeah, they were both just wonderful guests. And then you played Thursday's replay was probably one of my favorites that we've done with the Shrouded Torrent. I mean, it was just a great week of shows.
Yeah, Laura Headland, when we're doing the who does Food Freedom Radio on AM 950, when we're at Pride today, she's just like, you really confused me yesterday. I was listening, and you're talking about Easter, and you're talking. I'm like, I know, but it's about the Shrouded Torrent, and it's one of my favorite topics of all time. And she's like, yeah, it was good, but you confused me. And like, it's July, and you're talking about Easter. I'm like, yeah. That's what I do, I confuse people. So,
but we talk about Halloween all year long too. So talking about Easter shouldn't be a curveball.
That's very true as well. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's play the game of will he unmute his mic when we come back from break. We're gonna do the rest of our one question, or not really one question, but question of the week, and get ourselves ready for the weekend. You are listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950. Greg Bakun here. I love historic tours of Minneapolis and seeing everything it has to offer. But if you know me, I like to include a little spooky in my tours, which is why I found the perfect combination. Minneapolis Trolley Tours does this amazing candlelight ghost tour that you have to check out. It's an extremely immersive experience. It's a trolley trip that starts out at a haunted mansion, traveling around Minneapolis locations, exposing ghost stories that the public and business owners would rather left untold. Then a tour of the aforementioned haunted mansion where ghosts of past residents from the 1800s reside, plus a lot of surprises to discover. Next, experience Gertrude's After Hours. Did I mention Gertrude is the mansion's most famous ghost? Maybe she'll show up. And you finish up the tour at Gertrude's Lounge in the haunted basement of the mansion with refreshments and Q&A. The trolleys are climate controlled and the mansion is restored to perfection. Check out MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for more information.
Have you ever met someone who not only can help you on a deep spiritual level, but also potentially change your life? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who travels the nation and lives right here in the Midwest. And she offers mediumship, mentorship, house and business parties, energy healing, palm readings, and so much more. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
Hi, this is Psychic Medium Deb. I cannot wait to hear from you. You can go to refineddivinepsychic.com.
Greg Bakun here. I've told you about the out-of-the-world roast beef sandwiches at Maverick's Real Roast Beef, but I haven't told you about their Philly steak sandwiches. turkey, bacon, avocado sandwich, BLT, crispy chicken, fish sandwiches, brisket, or pulled pork. Okay, you get the idea. They make a lot of delicious food to the same standard as their famous roast beef sandwiches, and now I'm starving. I'm going to go to Maverick's Real Roast Beef off Lexington and Roseville, and you need to go too. Check out their menu at mavericksbeef.com.
Casual Friday. Casual Friday. Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio.
And this is Casual Friday on GhostBox Radio, and I want to make sure everyone knows I'm so excited about this that Mavericks is actually one of the sponsors for our booth over at Twin Cities Pride this weekend, and Mavericks also just opened. It's not directly in their parking lot; it's in the parking lot next to it, which is not it's there, it's right next there, it's right there. They took over an old Dairy Queen like from the 50s, and they turned it into this really wonderful, delicious ice cream parlor called Sprinkles, and that just opened. And so you got to go out to Mavericks, get your roast beef, get your sandwiches, get whatever you want to, and then finish off by taking a short walk over to Sprinkles. You cannot miss it, and indulge in. We talked to Tim, who owns Mavericks and Sprinkles. We talked to him this week, and he's just like, it's just the best soft serve. It is so good. And it's like he said, he just got this really top end machine to create the soft serve. It's just immensely wonderful. And Adam, you may not want to hear this bit, but for the staff at the booth this weekend, we'll be having Mavericks.
Oh, remind me to hate someone. So nobody's gonna bring anything back to the station to throw into the fridge or anything like that?
Let me check my notes. No, that'd be a negative.
You want to know what the sad thing is, though?
Sure, I do.
I saw Sprinkles had opened up, and I was gonna talk to you about it, but forgot to today. Earlier about like, hey, did you see an ice cream place open up near Mavericks?
Did you not know it was Tim's?
I had no idea. No.
Oh yeah. No, he's all about it. And the funny, it's not funny, it's really awesome actually. We called Tim up this week and like, would you be interested in being a sponsor and sponsoring Pride and sponsoring our booth and whatnot, and maybe get some food? And there wasn't a hesitation. He was like, oh yeah, no, I'd love to. He's like, I can't come out there because we just opened Sprinkles. But and we went through the menu, and he took the time, and he's a busy man. He took the time to figure out what's the best thing for the group of staff at the station to have at the booth over the weekend that can stay cool and stay refrigerated and still taste good. It's really it's very high end for sure in terms of what we're going to be fed, and then there's going to be other things that other sponsors are going to be providing over the weekend as well. This is really exciting. So yeah, very excited about that. I also want to quickly say, as we go into next week, join me Monday, but we're going to be on Sunday at 4:05, a new episode live from Twin Cities Pride. That's going to be Stephen LaChance, author Stephen LaChance. Some of the books that he's written is The Uninvited, The True Story of Union Screaming House, Gorilla, Blessed Are the Wicked, Glow. And then here's the one I want to talk to him about. I don't know if he'll really want to talk to, and you and I talked about this before, is Confrontation with Evil, the 1949 St. Louis exorcism. It's a fantastic book. It's a really good book. And just go to Amazon and put in Stephen LaChance's name, and you'll see all these wonderful books that he's written over the years. It's going to be a fantastic conversation. Then on Monday, I'm going to have on author Sylvia Schultz. She wrote a book called Gone on Vacation, talking about haunted zoos, haunted amusement parks, haunted museums. That's going to be a great conversation. Tuesday, this wonderful woman named Meg is going to be joining us, and she's a paranormal investigator, and she's also blind. So how does that work? What senses are heightened? What's it like to investigate? And it's going to be just an incredible conversation. Wednesday, Sam Beltrusis, we're talking about the ghosts of American Revolution. Thursday, we're doing a replay with Dr. Whitney Braun talking about the lost portrait of President Lincoln. And then for those who missed Wednesday's program, we're going to do an encore of Sam Beltrusis, since it is the 4th of July, Ghosts of the American Revolution. So a pretty solid week, I think, is coming up, literally a week. So yeah, it's exciting.
It is going to be a heck of a weekend. If you can't catch Sam on Wednesday, what a better soundtrack to your fireworks than hearing a guy talk about revolutionary ghosts while they're going off.
There's so much information there, and that we only scratched the surface. And he's going to come back. I mean, he's written a lot of books about all sorts of paranormal stuff, especially on the East Coast. And he is related down the line from Lizzie Borden.
Yeah, he is. I remember seeing his shock doc when they did the Lizzie Borden house, and they went to the house that she had moved into afterwards. And I had no idea that she basically didn't want to go by Lizzie after the case. It was Lizbeth.
Yep.
From that moment forward. And yeah, I had no idea and then we had him on last year, I believe, and he talked about that a little bit with some shadow people.
Yep.
So he's a heck of a guest. I always liked him.
And I remember when we did the Lizzie Borden episode that I had asked him if I may have permission to reach out to Lizzie Borden through Spirit Box during one of my Facebook sessions. And he was like, absolutely, no problem. And he's like, but you do need to call her Lizbeth. And I did so. And one of my favorite things, and this is on video, this is captured during the Spirit Box presentation, because she's a big animal lover. And I had Linus. I was holding Linus, and I'm in the Spirit Box going, and I'm like, Lisbeth, this is Linus. Would you like to meet Linus? All of a sudden, Linus, who's just sitting like this, he does this. He's just like,
oh, that's neat.
It was so for those on the radio, he jerked his head as if someone was trying to touch him, and he wasn't having it. And that's because that's Linus. Yeah, and people in the comments, especially Brad Webb, he's just like, oh my God, Linus, and he actually cut the video and he sent it to me separately. Just really fun, really cool times for sure. So we gotta it's gonna be fun. I mean, I was gonna say it's gonna be fun talking with Sam. I talked to him already. It's been recorded, and incidentally, an episode like that, which is not going to air for a few days, that's currently up on my Patreon as an early release. It's one of the many perks that you get if you join my Patreon, patreon.com/GhostBox Radio. Starts as low as $3 a month. As we have a few minutes left, should we go through some more question of the week? As this is really, I think this is uplifting. This is almost, we've had some really good uplifting questions over the last couple of years. So once again, the question of the week is, name one thing that makes you happy. Lucy says, my grandkids. Isn't that something?
That's awesome.
It just feels good. Lexi says, Klaus and Enzo and their two cats. They look like they're twins. And, right. We love our animals. Really, really cool. Barb says, drawing and painting. Leanne says nature. Christine says name one thing that makes you happy. My daughter. And I know Christine, and I see she posts a lot of pictures of her and her daughter. She's clearly very proud of her daughter. Her daughter has a great future ahead of her. Pamela says spending time with animals. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Cindy, and I know Cindy, she says Disney World, and it's truly a happy place. I'm happy for her. Joshua says, and I think Joshua and I are kindred spirits. Joshua says food. Yeah, it makes me happy too.
Especially it's on the grill.
Yep, absolutely. And you and I talked about this before, where it's not necessarily even eating the food, except tonight the chicken wings were sublime. They're so good, and I have plenty left. I might take 100 or 200 more before I go to sleep. But it's also the process of making it, right? We talked about that. Yeah, very much so. Joshua, a couple things must make him happy. He says, my dogs and cats. Oh, and watching my birds in their feeder and bath with 110 feels like temperature. So it's warm out there. Yeah, I don't blame you. LC says, my dog. Isn't it great that we love our animals? We love our pets. We've talked about this so many times in GhostBox, and that all they're doing is existing. It's not like your cat's going out buying you a present to make you happy. All they're doing is just walking in front of you, and that's enough to make us insanely happy with them.
And I think all pets, cats, dogs, things like that, I'm pretty sure they have mind control. They ever just stare at you and you're like, okay, here's a treat. Okay, here's food. And they don't have to say anything. They just stare into your soul.
Well, and then too, like, cats, they do that slow blinking thing when they really like you. And
Yes.
Puff had been doing that. I went down and rubbing her belly, and she's just looking at me, giving me that slow blink. I mean, I don't know what planet she comes from. She is absolutely like perfect in all those ways. And it's just, I don't know. I think Linus talks to her. Nicole says, besides, of course, the normal things specific to this week, it's the puppies, or sorry, puppy. She only got one. The puppy we just got. Well, that's awesome. Michelle says, seeing cats. I don't know. So she's just, does she not own a cat? She just sees them and she's happy. I mean, that's legit. I could take that.
Yeah, there's like a coffee bar in Golden Valley where you just go pet cats and drink coffee.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like a cattery, right?
Yeah.
Jolene says, my family. That's sweet. Ben, another a man after my own heart. Doctor Who makes them happy. I'm right there with you. Honestly, that's great. Let's see, Linda in the comments, she says, I had a beautiful time with my son at Legoland in Carlsbad, California. That town is so peaceful. That's great. That's so sweet. It's just, and I feel like, and this goes back to when I was hosting, when you and I were both working on Matt's show on Monday, and just talking about, how do we take care of ourselves with everything that's going on. And this has just been, to me, such a week of positivity and celebration and unity that, I'm enjoying it. And I'm glad that we can cap off the week with talking some positivity. Don't worry, we haven't changed the format of the show. We'll be more paranormal next week. You heard the lineup. It's going to be insane. So don't worry about that. But sometimes it's nice to step back and be like, you know what? Things are good. They can be good. Not everything is good around us, but we can still be good. We can have good things happen, and not to lose sight of that.
It's almost like we did a Friday Sage, if you will. Just
get
all the negativity out.
Absolutely. We're just trying to purge and just, kind of have those moments of reflection of like, what are the things that are making us happy and making us feel good. And I enjoy that. And, I can't wait till particularly Monday to talk about haunted amusement parks. You and I talked a little bit about it at the station today. It's like, there's a lot of cool things to talk about with that. So yeah, I love it.
In the museum portion of it too, every museum has at least got to have some sort of at least residual haunt in it from all the items in there.
Totally. And maybe someday we'll have somebody come on to talk about haunted Disneyland that doesn't freak out on us. So maybe that might happen someday too. I don't know. Maybe he was channeling Walt Disney and or one of his pencils, and he just kind of lost it. But oh
boy, we're not going to talk about Walt at all.
Just like it was nice having you on the show. So that's I mean, I don't even know if did that ever make it to our archive.
I don't think so.
Okay. And
we just leave
it's
it
not
there.
good. It's not good. It's not
No.
good radio. It's but it is a note of just kind of a side note of GhostBox Radio of when guests go wrong, when they go rogue.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
He was fine up until 4:04:50, and then after that, he just kind of fell apart. So
As soon as that red light went on, he went bleh.
yeah, you forgot that the rest of us were there. So folks, once again, come out to booth 407, 408 over at Twin Cities Pride. Come see us. Don't forget, great lineup of program all weekend starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. Our show will be live at 4:05 p.m. on Sunday with guest Stephen LaChance. If you're out at Pride, stop by, say hi. I'll be out there. A number of our hosts will be out there as well. It's going to be a great weekend. Enjoy it. We'll be back Sunday with Stephen LaChance and Monday with Sylvia Schultz. Everyone, have a great night.
Hey, Minnesota, it's Brad Friedman, host of the